Hello everyone and welcome to the webinar on Halo. Not only how to get started, but how to get the most out of it in the shortest amount of time. With me today, as always, I have Adam Hooley. Are you there with us, Adam?
Hey team.
So Adam will be taking your questions as we go throughout the webinar. And sorry, before we get started, my name is Justin Watts. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, you should see on the GoToWebinar control panel a little line where it'll say chat or questions. Just type in your questions there as we go, and we will endeavor to get through those either as they come up or when we get to the very end of the webinar, which is scheduled to go for 30 minutes. So we'll get underway because we've got a lot of really cool stuff to get into. Now, a brief overview of Halo. There are three parts to Halo: the collaboration, best practice, and insights. And I'll go into those in a various bit of detail. But even before that, I think it's good to know where Atmosphere came from and why we're getting involved with Halo right now and software in general. Atmosphere has been consulting with agencies for the last 5 years, and we've dealt with hundreds of agencies. And over that period of time, we've really seen that a lot of change needs to happen within the industry. And the only way for that change to happen is through a mix of culture and technology. We really see that technology is an enabler of a better culture. So we've developed what we think is the technology to help create that change. And it starts with Halo. Now, I'm hoping that everyone at home or at work, if you're at home, welcome to, has logged into Halo on the web version, which you can see here we've got some URLs where you can access that. Now, there's also a mobile app version of Halo, which you can search for by typing Halo for Atmosphere, Halo for A-White, or Halo for Living Here. For your iPad, it's best to use the browser version. You get a better experience that way. Okay, so now let's get into it. You can access Halo by going to atmosphere.com as well and clicking on the login or sign up button. Once you've signed up, you'll get asked to either confirm your... Okay. Now, I'll just double check to make sure that you guys can actually see my screen, because that would be very important. Okay, so now that you can see my screen, you haven't missed anything too drastic just yet. It's all just about to get started. So you can see once you've logged in, you'll get to a screen somewhat like this. I've logged in as Peter Halfie today, and that will show your profile in the top left-hand corner. You'll then have what will most likely be the Halo community stream in the center. Now, this is open to everyone within Halo. There are close to 1,000 people there at the moment, and that's just a lot of messages and communication from people discussing property management in general. But the first thing that I'd like to show you is how to access the Atmosphere documents. Now, there are close to 300 of these. To do that, go over to the right-hand side of the screen. You'll see this grey bar, and then click on the left-facing arrow. That'll open up like that. Then select Notes. When you do that, you might not have as many cards here to display with, but you will have access to the Atmosphere Documents card. You can select that, and that'll open up, and you'll have a range of different documents that you can choose from. Now, there's a whole lot of these, so have a good look through to find the one that you're after. Then open up, say, the lease renewal checklist, and that will open up in a different browser. At the moment that's asking me to log in, but it won't ask you to log in. You will be able to get access to that straight away, like that. And they're all good to be downloaded, and you can use them however you want. So there are a whole range of different documents that you've got at your disposal there. Tenant letters, human resources, which are a range of position descriptions, espresso newsletters, which are updated all the time, and they can be downloaded and modified and sent out to all of your clients. So they're updated monthly. And just in case you're thinking, wow, this looks really cool, how much does that cost? I just want to give you guys heaps of money. At this point, we're not going to take your money because this is completely free, and this always will be. It's what you got on the atmosphere.com website, only now it's all tucked away in Halo. But there is more. The next thing I'd like to show you are the procedures. So going back to this screen, or you could select the plus button, and for the sake of this, we might even make that full screen. Select the plus button and go with procedures. This is a list of processes and links to legislation that cover a whole range of steps in property management. You can select through here, starting a tenancy, select a new tenant. These are the steps required, and it just keeps drilling down into more and more information. Now, this is relevant for not all estates in Australia, but a fair few. So a whole lot of information right there. It's also got links to relevant forms. So for example, if you're doing a routine inspection and you need to know how long to notify a tenant, you can get the Queensland Form 9. Now if you click on that, that'll take you to the link and you can download that right there. Another way, if you're looking for a specific form, is to go up to this search bar at the top. You could type in Form 9. That'll then scan through all of the procedures information, and you can just click and go directly to the page that has that particular form on it. So that's called procedures, and it's especially useful for people who are new to the industry. And again, to find that, select the arrow on the right hand side, open it up, procedures, and then the Atmosphere documents are in notes. Cool. So if you get to that point, you're in a really good position because that's some very useful content for you right there. But I'd like to explore a little bit more the idea of streams and what the whole communication and collaboration part of Halo is. As I mentioned before, here you've got a stream for the Halo community, which is everyone within Halo. And this is general forum related content. If people have questions, they can ask them here and anyone can answer. It's open for everyone, and that's important to keep in mind. Over here, on the left-hand side, you've got people, and that's individual people that you can message. Now, they're private messages. No one else can see them, only you and them. However, there's something in between, which is your agency. You can set up a community for your agency so that only people within your agency can communicate together. The example I've got set up here is the Harbour Village Realty community, and I'll show you how to set this up. Go over to the right-hand side again and open up that side, then select Communities. Now, when you start, you'll likely just be a member of the Halo community. So click on the orange plus button, or in your case it might be yellow or green. And it's a good idea to have your principal or your a senior property manager set this up so that you only have one version of your agency community. You can add a photo, select your name, and select the community type. Now in this case, you would select agency. What that means is that you'll have a joining policy that is only for mutual consent. So only people that you invite to join the community or that apply to join and you give permission to will ever be able to get access to anything within your community. So then you'd click Create Community. And I'll show you. Next you'll see the members. It'll start with only you being in there. But to add other people, click the button at the bottom and just enter the person's name who you'd like to add to the community. And then click Add. If you'd like, you could change the permissions of that person to make them an admin so that they can add other people as well, or you could remove them from the community. That's if they leave or go somewhere else. Now, if someone applies to join your community, you'll see in pending requests their actual request. You can then select accept or reject. So if you're an admin, you have complete control on who has access to your community. Now, another important thing to keep in mind is that your community, for example, Harbour Village Realty, might actually be a part of a network. So as an admin of your agency community, you can join your network community. To do that, select Linked Communities and then the plus down the bottom. Here you can search for your network community. So you might go Living Here Network or the Ray White Network, and then you can apply to join. That will mean that every one of the members of your agency will have access to that particular network. The advantage of this is that the owners of that network don't have to give people permission to view content or stop giving people permission to view the content if they leave an agency, because there's a lot of movement between agencies in our industry. Okay, so if you're still with me, you've now set up your community and you've added the people into your community. The next step to do is to set up these streams. A stream is a place where anyone within that community can share content. So, for example, you can even share images. To do that, select your image, and then you can drag it on and drop it. And now that image has been shared with everyone. You can do that with documents too. Okay, so to set up a stream, click on the plus button, give your stream a name, and it's a good idea to go sort of a general topic to start off with, so you might even want to call it general. And then down here, select the community that you'd like to share it with. And this is important because if you select the Halo community or a network one, then everyone will be able to see it. So just select your particular agency community. That wouldn't be your laptop Adam because it looks a little bit too neat and tidy. Lols. But if you want to then communicate with someone directly through that stream, you can send the @ button, use the @ button, and then start typing their name. Now, this will mean that when you mention them in the stream, they'll get a notification on their version of Halo that says that they've been mentioned in a stream. It's a good idea to do this so that everyone knows that that particular stream exists. Okay, so there you have it. You've got Atmosphere documents, you've got procedures, and now you know how to set up a community and set up a stream so that everyone in your community can talk to each other. One other thing that I'd like to show you is really useful once you've got your community set up, and it's called Insights. Insights lets you gain access to your trust accounting system and see updates from that in almost real time, in fact every 15 seconds. So at the moment you won't be able to see this because it's one of our paid modules, but I can show you what it looks like here. And I'll open this up as well. This links into your REST or console trust account, and you can get a range of different reports. To start off with, let's have a look at arrears. Now, 32% of Harbour Village Realty's properties are in arrears. Not very good, so let's drill in and have a bit more of a detail. Look. We can then set that over maybe the past year to see what's happened over that period of time. It's taking a little while to load. There we go. Over the past year. So it's only recently that has really started to climb. And then you can look at each of the particular properties that are in arrears and the amount of days that they've been in arrears. Going back, you can see the economic cost of arrears, which is how much commission your agency is losing because of those properties that have been in arrears. And you can also see a really useful stat down here. What percentage of your tenancies are causing most of your arrears pain? You can see how many total days have been in arrears and how many days they are currently in arrears. Going back, over here you can also see which tenants have never been in arrears, and as a result probably haven't been getting a lot of attention, but it's a great opportunity to reach out to them proactively and give them some good news. Going back, you can see how many active managements you've got, the occupancy rate, and also your average management fees. So drilling into this, you can even see the annualized fee. So how much are you getting from each cohort of properties, and which are your most used sectors there? You can see the total commission and get a good bit of detail into each particular property. So there you go, lots of information that you can gain access to from your trust accounting system. And the great thing about this is that it's available wherever you are. So you'll be able to see that on your laptop from home or wherever you happen to be. Now, this information is only made available to people who you've selected within your community to see that information. So it could just be the principal or yourself, or you could share it with whoever you select at that time. If you are interested in Insights, to gain access, all you've got to do is to go to the atmosphere.com website and select the Halo platform and scroll down, and you'll find out information about these modules. So Insights is over here, and just click to express your interest. Now, on the pricing side of things, it's all really good news at this point. Community is completely free. Best Practice, which has the documents and procedures, is completely free as well. And Insights are $75 per month. Now, there are going to be a lot of new features added to Insights in the coming months, but if you get in now, you won't have to pay anything extra to gain access to those. So there you have it. That's a very brief run through of Halo and what you can get access to at the moment. I'll slide back over and finish up with some questions. And I might call you in at the moment, Adam. Have we had many questions so far?
Well, I'm happy to say that we have no questions. So I think that means that everyone picked that up very well. So that would only compliment you as a presenter, maybe.
Apart from
so no, I don't have
at
any.
the start.
So no questions at the moment, but if anyone's got any, just shoot them through and we'll grab them in the next couple of seconds.
Okay, cool. Also, if you have any questions or trouble setting up once you are on Halo, have a look down here and you can, you'll see that you'll most likely be sent a message from Chris, who is our community manager. You'll know if you've got a message because there'll be a little green bubble with a number next to it. Chris is more than happy to help you get set up and to hold your hand digitally along the way so that you get everything you want out of Halo. Right, well, that's all we've got time for at the moment.
We did have one question that came through, which we had two questions come through. One of them was how much is Insights? And the other one was, can we have a copy of this? And I'm pretty sure you email a copy to everyone afterwards, don't you? A copy of this presentation.
Yes, I'll send through a copy of the webinar. So on Insights, as I mentioned before, but I might have run over a bit quickly, it's $75 per agency per month. And that's a lock-in price. So you will see that it goes up to $100 per month in June. But if you sign up now, you will never, ever have to pay more than the $75 per month. It's our way of really rewarding the people that get in early. We realize that there are a lot more reports that we can put into Insights, and we're definitely going to be doing that. But we want to sort of reward people that that get in from the very beginning, and that's what you get, a much cheaper fee right there. I will send out a copy of this webinar, but one last thing I'd like to point out before we leave is that if you have any questions, you can click on the tab up here and go to the help section, and we've got a range of self-guided tour articles that you can gain access to, and they should answer all of the questions that you've got. But by all means, feel free to reach out to Chris or Adam or myself. You can just type our names in at the top and you'll find us, and we'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have.
Okay. Have you got time for a quick couple more, Mr. Watts?
I certainly do.
One of them I've got here is, do I sign up with a license agreement or similar document?
Now, there is a privacy settings that we've got, if this is what that question is referring to, which you can gain access to on our website to review that. But to sign up, all you need is, well, that'll sign me in straight away, but that's the button that you click. You'll need to create a new username and password, or if you're from Ray White or Living Here and you go to the URLs that I mentioned at the start, these ones, you can use your existing Ray White or Living Here credentials. So to clarify, if you go to halo.atmosphere.com, you'll need a new username and password. If you go to halo.livinghere or halo.raywhite, you can use your existing credentials.
One more before you go is, are you compatible with Property Me?
At this point, we are not. We're only focusing on REST and console. Okay, so we will wrap up now, but if you have any other questions, please keep them coming through on Halo. Also, there are a lot of people in the Halo community stream. We've had 3 new messages on there, which are, people are happy to help out as much as they can. So reach out, be a part of it, and I look forward to seeing you on Halo. Thanks.